Okay. Hare Krishna. I welcome everyone to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. I thank you all so much for joining us today. Can we have everyone on mute, please? Thank you.
Mataji, we cannot hear you.
Can I start, Mataji?
Why? No one can hear me?
Now we can hear you. Now we can.
Okay. Hare Krishna. I welcome everyone to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. So today we have a very special speaker and her name is Rasika. Rasika is 10.5 years old. She was born on November 8th. She likes playing harmonium, singing, organizing her things, making crafts, cooking, reading, riding on her bike. She likes making homemade beauty products and she loves playing with her brother. So we are very fortunate to have Rasika on the call with us today, and she's a very active student of the Govinda group. And Rasika is going to speak on the stories from Mahabharata. So thank you so much, Rasika, for coming on the call. You can now take over and start your presentation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Jnantivanandasya Jnananjaya Shalakya Chakshurmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So before I begin, I would like to humbly seek your blessings so I can speak nicely on this topic. So I'm going to be speaking about stories from Mahabharata. So there's a quick story I want to say which you can apply in your life, and it really helps. So one time, a man and a girl were walking, and it suddenly started raining really heavily. So many people reacted to this differently. Like some people were protecting their money and belongings. Some people were trying to shelter themselves. But this one girl holds out her hand and welcomes the pouring rain. So what can we learn from this story? What we can learn from the story is that many problems will come across our life. And we should, instead of running away from them, we should try to solve them. Like maybe you and your brother have a fight, or maybe you and your siblings have a fight. So instead of running away from the problem, we should try to solve it, try to reason with them. So I'm going to be talking about the 6 C's of Mahabharata and how if you apply these to your life, then you can see the presence of God. So the first C is choices. The second C is challenges. The third C is commitment. The fourth C is connection. The fifth C is certainty. And the sixth C is composure. So on choices is a short story. One time a man was going to a village and he said to the child, "In your town, have any great leaders been born?" And the child said, "No, sir. In my town, no great people have been born, only children." So how this connects to choices is that in choices, how individual people make different choices leads to what they become in the future. Like Albert Einstein, if he didn't study for science, he wouldn't have become Albert Einstein. He would just become a normal person. But since he put his talent and he put like choices that he wants to study, he was determined to study. That's why he became Albert Einstein. So the first C is choices, and there's a story from Mahabharata which connects to this. So one time Krishna was sleeping on his bed in his palace, And Duryodhana comes to Krishna to ask for help in the war. And he sits near the head of Krishna. Then Arjuna comes a little while later, and Arjuna sits near the feet of Krishna. So when Krishna wakes up, he sees Arjuna first. So he tells to Arjuna that I will give you two choices. Just when he's saying that, Duryodhana says, no way, I came first, I get to choose first. But Krishna said, no, I saw Arjuna first, so I will give him the two choices. So what choices he said were, either me, I will drive your chariot unarmed, I will not have any weapons or help you, or my powerful Narayani Sena. So Arjuna chose Krishna driving his chariot. And Duryodhana actually looks sad on his face because he's like, oh, okay, I'll just choose Narayani Sena. But he's so happy in his mind because he's like, how could Arjuna have been so careless? I mean, isn't Krishna's Narayani Sena more powerful than him if he's not going to help? So similarly, we should also choose Krishna instead of his belongings. Each prized possession you have is 0. But when you add Krishna, who is like 1, it puts a value in the zeros. So if there's 2 zeros here, then you add a 1, then it becomes 100. Otherwise, it's just 2 zeros, and it has no value. Arjuna chose God over God's possessions. Therefore, he got both in the end when he went to spiritual world. So there's a short story about the 4 mentalities of people, the 4 common mentalities of people. One time when Yudhishthir won the war in Kurukshetra, he had like a ceremony, and each of the 5 Pandavas had a role to play in the ceremony. So one of Bhima's roles was problem solver. So people came and they told Bhima his problems, and Bhima would tell them the answers, like how you can solve the problem. So 4 different people came to him, and he couldn't answer the questions. So he told all the 4 people to go to Yudhishthir and ask Yudhishthir questions. Since Yudhishthir is known to be Dharmaraj, he knows all the answers to questions. So Yudhishthir tells what these questions mean. So 4 different people came, and they asked different questions. The first person came, and he said this. In my garden, I had a fence, and the fence was going into the other person's garden. Now, this is like, Yudhishthir says like a very interesting answer for this. In this age, people are not satisfied with what they have, but they want what others have. Some people think that, oh, that person has this, I don't have that. But instead, we should think, oh, I have this, that's good. We should think of what we have rather than what we don't have. Then we'll have a happy, successful life. The second person came, and he said this problem. There was a big pot filled to top, and I transferred it into 5 small pots. And then I again transferred it into the big pot, but it was only half full. What this represents is that relationships today are like that. No matter how much love you give, only 50% comes back. Like maybe you're like really kind to your brother or sister, and maybe it seems like they only give 50% back. But actually, they're already giving 100% back. It just everybody has their own way of giving love. So that's what that means. And then the third person came and he said, I was passing an elephant through the eye of a needle and the tail got stuck. Imagine a whole elephant through the eye of a needle and just the tail got stuck. This represents is that in this age, people will spend so much money on themselves, but when it comes to giving some money to someone else, they will not give. Like, I've seen something like this. I've seen when I go to Farmington Hills Temple in Michigan here, we have Sunday feast, so we get like free lunch prasadam every Sunday. And so some people just come to the temple and they eat the Sunday feast for free. But when the announcements come in, this Prabhuji announces, can you donate some or give a sponsorship for next Sunday's feast? Then they don't give. They don't donate any money. So that's what happens this age. People will spend so much money on themselves. But when somebody just asks, can you give me this? Because I'm poor, they won't give it to someone else. And finally, the fourth person came and he said that there was a boulder on top of a hill. And big, powerful wrestlers came to push it down. But it didn't budge. Then a thin sannyasi comes, he waves a stick, and the boulder rolls down the hill. What this represents is that great scholars perform sophisticated rituals and they don't work. But by chanting the holy name, you can attain even more than that. Some people perform so many sophisticated yagnas and thinking that they can go back to Godhead, back to the spiritual world. But by chanting the holy name, if you just sing Hare Krishna, if you just chant Hare Krishna at least one round every day for your age, then you can go to spiritual world. Krishna says that. So, this from Ramayana. There's 3 different places in Ramayana which we can connect to in our own lives. So, the first place is Ayodhya. Ayodhya means Sanskriti. Sanskriti means culture. Lanka means Vikriti. Vikriti means vulture mentality. In Lanka, mostly people look for value in things. They don't look for value in relationships. And in Kishkinda, it's Prakriti. Prakriti means Vanara. Vanara means, am I human? So sometimes we choose Sanskriti and sometimes we choose Vikriti. When we're in Kishkinda, we sometimes choose Sanskriti and sometimes Vikriti. People in Kali Yuga this age are in Kishkinda Vasis because sometimes they go to Ayodhya, they go to culture, and sometimes they go to vulture mentality. So we are in Kishkinda and we have the dual choice whether we go to Ayodhya or Lanka. That is completely up to us. One minute. Okay, so sorry Mataji, something happened to my screen. Machi, can you see my screen?
Yes, Rasika, we can see.
So we have the Dwella choice. So there's 6 C's which I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, but
So the first C is challenges. Okay, so the second C is challenges. There's a short story to this. So in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, in the middle of the battle, Ashwatthama released the Naranastra. And Krishna told all the Pandavas to drop their weapons and bow down. So all the Pandavas dropped their weapons and bowed down, except for Bhima. Because Bhima he was a Kshatriya. So he was a Kshatriya. So he was refusing to bow down in the middle of the battlefield. He was refusing to bow down to the Naranastra. And he decided to fight alone. If all the Pandavas couldn't defeat the Naranastra, then how could Bhima defeat the Naranastra? So he tried himself, but obviously he couldn't succeed. And he was about to get pierced, and just in the nick of time, Krishna came and he wrestled Bhima to the ground. He threw his weapons and he wrestled Bhima onto the ground. And eventually the Naranastra went away because all the Pandavas surrendered into the Naranastra. That was the challenge of the Pandavas. Each of us have a challenge and we have to overcome it. And to overcome it, we need to have humility. Humility is very, very important in life. If you don't have humility, you're going to have a really bad life because sometimes when you have a husband or wife, then you might get a fight and you will need to have humility. You need to go up and say sorry to the person. Otherwise, it could be a big fight. I can relate to this. So sometimes me and my brother have a fight. I have a brother named Mukunda, and me and my brother have a fight. And usually I am not the one to say sorry. And I have a little ego. Like I say, why should I say sorry? But my brother is the first one to say sorry. After every fight we have, he's the first one to say sorry. So I admire him, hoping I can be inspired from him and have some humility in my life someday. So coming back to our point, humility is very, very important in life. The next C Okay, we're still on challenges. So there was a question, what is the daily job of God? So one time a king had a question, and the king asked the priest to figure out the answer for what is the daily job of God. So the priest met a shepherd after being disappointed, searching through all the scriptures there were. And the shepherd chose to answer this question directly to the king. What he said was that the daily job of God is to bring people who are proud and arrogant up, down, and make humble people go up. That's what Krishna does. He sits up there, and people who are arrogant and proud, he just sends them down so they can learn how to be humble. And the people who are humble, he puts them up so that they have a higher platform and they can use their talent. So I'm going to move to the third C, commitment. So there's a story to this. One time, Drona called Yudhishthir. And Drona said to Yudhishthir, I want you to go to the kingdom and find one person who is worse than you. So Yudhishthir came back from the whole kingdom, and he said he couldn't even find a single person. And when Drona asked why, he said, because every person I saw had different qualities. One person was good at singing, which I wasn't good at. One person was good at this, which I wasn't good at. So Drona was very pleased with Yudhishthir. So he said, you can go away now. Now he did the same thing, but he did it to Duryodhan. He said, Drona called Duryodhan and he said, I want you to go to the kingdom and find one person who is better than you. So Duryodhan goes to the whole kingdom and he finds no one who is better than him because he thinks that I am the best. Nobody will be better than me. So similarly, Prabhupada, he was like Yudhishthir. Yudhishthir was like Prabhupada. He saw positivity in every person, whether it was a hippie or a non-devotee. He saw positivity in every person. That was such a good quality of Prabhupada. So it's very important to deal with challenges with commitment. There's another story for this. How people's mindsets are. So one time in the Battle of Kurukshetra, Karna was made commander-in-chief when Bhishma died. So Karna told Duryodhana that I can kill Arjuna today if I have a good chariot driver of Krishna. And Duryodhana said, there's no other chariot driver as good as Krishna. And he starts to think and he says, oh Shalya, yes, Shalya. So Karna says, can you tell Shalya to be my chariot driver? And Duryodhana says, never. He's not going to listen because Shalya had a very big ego. Like, he wouldn't become a chariot driver of Karna. So Duryodhana said, I can't become the chariot driver. Duryodhana said that I can't convince Shalya. So then Karna said, okay, then I won't be able to kill Arjuna. Now Arjuna, the five Pandavas were really strong. They were stronger than Duryodhana and his 100 brothers. So Duryodhana really wanted Arjuna to be killed. So he said, no, please, I'll persuade Shalya, you please kill Arjuna. So Karna said, okay. So Duryodhana goes to Shalya and he says, Shalya, will you become Karna's chariot driver? And actually everyone in Duryodhana's team had one condition. If you don't do this, I will only do this on one condition. Everybody on Duryodhana's team had one condition. So similarly, Shalya had a condition. And he said, I will only be Karna's chariot driver if, and only if, I get to talk whatever I want. So Duryodhana thought it wasn't a big deal. So he said, okay, no problem. So all during the drive where they were going to Arjuna, Karna was driving and Shalya was chariot driver and Karna was sitting in the back. And all the time Shalya was being so sarcastic, like, you can't do this, you can't do that. Like, basically he was trying to distract Karna. And so Karna got really mad and they started fighting with each other while driving. Finally, they reached where Arjuna was. And right when they reached there, Shalya told Karna, you only talk big things. So Shalya told Karna, I will tell you a story. Once there was a crow who was just like you. He was showing off all the time. He was like, I can do this, I can do that. But he never really did it. And all the birds in the forest wanted to teach him a lesson. So the swan said a competition should be held. And the crow said, like, I'm good at everything. You choose the competition topic. So the swan said, we will glide across the ocean. So the crow, while he was going on the ocean, he was doing all sorts of fancy moves, like a backflip and a front flip, like all kind of fancy moves. While the swan was just plain gliding across the ocean. Pretty soon, the crow got tired and he fell into the water. Now, he shouted and he said, Swan, please help me, please help me. And Swan said, no problem, this is your 109 trick. You've already done 108, this is your 109 trick. So no problem. And the crow said that, please help me, I'm dying, please help me. So the swan finally saved him. And the crow went back. Of course, he learned his lesson and he didn't brag that much. But Shali said to Karna, you are like crow and Arjuna is like the swan. Each of the 5 Pandavas had different qualities. Bhima was good at his gada and Arjuna was good at his bow. So Arjuna couldn't tell Yudhishthir, oh look, I'm better at you at bow, because Yudhishthir didn't know how to do bow. So each of them had different qualities, so they couldn't compare themselves. Any questions so far? Okay, so the next C is connection. So this is, one time there's a short story for this. Yudhishthir, one time he was fighting with Karna, and he was just about to die when his chariot driver helped him. Now he's lying in the medical tent, and he's thinking, will Arjuna come? Will he see me? Will he come to see if he's okay? So Arjuna went, just when he was thinking that, Arjuna came to Yudhishthir to ask if he was okay. And Yudhishthir was like burning with anger, and he asked Arjuna, have you killed Karna yet? And he was really anxious to kill Karna, because not only had Karna defeated him, Karna had also insulted Yudhishthir very, very badly. So when Yudhishthir asked Arjuna if Arjuna had killed Karna, Arjuna said no, Arjuna hadn't even tried to kill Karna. So Yudhishthira got upset, like, how could you? And started insulting Arjuna, like, you shouldn't have been born in our family, you're not fit to be in our family, and he started insulting him very bad. And so Arjuna got angry, and Yudhishthira also said many insults, like he said, you should throw your Gandiva bow away, you were not born in our family. And Arjuna got angry, and he went to kill Yudhishthira. Now Krishna's watching these 2 brothers fight, and he's like, Arjuna, what happened? You came here to ask Yudhishthira if he was all right, and you're fighting now? So Arjuna said that, I took a vow. Anyone who insults my Gandiva, I will kill him. Now Krishna is like, why do you take such vows? Like, Arjuna takes so many severe vows, right? As if you have watched Mahabaratha, you will know. He's taken a lot of vows, and he's had to break them. And every time Krishna is there for him. So anyways, Krishna said, don't worry, I have a solution to that. According to the scriptures, when a younger person insults the older person, it is as good as killing him. So Arjuna abuses Yudhishthira like very badly, like, you're not good at this, you're not good at that. And then after he sufficiently does that, he takes out a sword to kill himself. Now Krishna asks, why are you killing yourself now? So Arjuna says, how can I live if I insult my older brother? So Krishna said, don't worry, I have a solution to that too. So Krishna says, according to the scriptures, if you praise yourself, it is as good as killing yourself. So Arjuna praises himself like anything, like, I have defeated Indra, I have defeated Shiva, I've defeated all the demigods, I've done this, I've done that. And then now Arjuna is peaceful. So what Arjuna actually bows down to Krishna and he says, Krishna, if you weren't there, what would I have done without you? Every time I have a problem, you're always there to solve it. If Krishna wasn't here to tell Arjuna about the scriptures, then Arjuna would have had to kill himself. So each person in this world has a fallback option. Duryodhan's fallback option was Shakuni. Whenever he was in doubt, whenever he's like, oh, let's fight Pandavas, he always asked Shakuni, can you help me? And Shakuni was always there to help him. And Arjuna's fallback option was Krishna. So similarly, when we go to difficult times, what is our fallback option? Do we go to our parents? Do we go to our children? Do we go to our siblings? Do we go to our friends? Who do we go to? When we have challenging times, who do we go to? That's connection. And the fifth C is composure. So one time, a lady was reading across the scriptures, and she came across this particular verse. It said, "He, the silversmith, threw the metal into the furnace and sat watching it." So the lady saw this, and she went to a silversmith, and she decided to see herself. She went to the silversmith, and she saw that he threw the metal into the furnace and sat watching it. Now, when the lady asked the silversmith, "How do you know when to take it out? How do you know when to take the metal out?" So the silversmith said that when I can see my mirror effect in it, then I know that it has turned into silver. I'll repeat the verse again. "He, the silversmith, threw the metal into the furnace and sat watching it until he could see himself in the metal now turned into silver." What this means is that God threw us into the material world and sat watching us until he could see himself in us. And when it was a perfect time, he took us back to the spiritual world. I'll say it once again. God threw us into the material world, into the furnace so that we could burn, and sat watching us until he could see himself in us, until he could see the same qualities in us, until he could see us chanting his holy name. And when it was a perfect time, he took us back to the spiritual world. So the sixth C is certainty. There's a story for this. So one time, Krishna and Arjuna were walking, and they met an old Brahmin. So when the Brahmin met Arjuna and Krishna, the Brahmin told Arjuna that, "Oh, I'm so poor, I don't have money to feed my family, I don't even have money to buy clothes." And Arjuna feels pity for him, and he says that, "Okay, fine, I'll give you a bag of gold coins." So then, the Brahmin is so happy, he makes his way home. And while he's on the forest, a robber comes, a masked robber, and he steals the money. Now the Brahmin is so sad again because he can't catch the robber and the robber is already gone. And so he steals the money. And the Brahmin's sad again. So then the Brahmin tells Arjuna. And Arjuna feels pity for him, so he gives him his diamond ring. And the Brahmin is really happy and keeps the diamond ring in an old pot in a house. Next morning, his wife goes to get water from the river, and she doesn't know that the diamond ring is in the pot. So the diamond falls into the water. And so she tells the Brahmin, and the Brahmin's so sad again. So he finds Krishna and Arjuna and tells them. Now this time, Krishna removes 2 pennies and gives the Brahmin. So the Brahmin sees a fisherman pulling a big fish. And so he sees, "Oh, what am I supposed to do? I'll just use this money." And he sees the fish is struggling. So he helps the fish, he pays the fish, he pays the fisherman and buys the fish. Now just he's thinking that I'll throw it back into the water when he sees that the fish is not struggling because it's out of the water. It's struggling because something is stuck in the fish's mouth. So he puts his hand on a very big fish and he takes out and he finds out it's his diamond. So he's so happy, he says, I found. And the robber is just passing that way. And he sees, and he thinks the Brahmin is saying to him. And he's like, no, please for me, you don't tell the king, please don't, I'll return your gold coins. So the robber returns the gold coins. Now, Arjuna is amazed. And Arjuna says that, how come this happened? I thought there was no destiny for the Brahmin to get any money. And so the Krishna said a very important explanation. When you gave the precious items like the diamond ring and the gold coins, he was happy. He was thinking about himself. But when he got the 2 pennies, he was thinking, what am I supposed to do with this? So he started thinking how I can help others. So those are all the 6 C's. And basically how we can connect to certainty is that it wasn't in the destiny of the Brahman. And when he started thinking about others, not only himself, then destiny gave good luck to him. So I finished with all the C's. What we can apply with this is that when you follow all 6 C's, you can certainly see the presence of God in life. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
I have a question. I have a question.
Yeah, 1 minute. Okay, who has a question?
Vasu.
Okay, Vasu, what's your question?
My question is, like, how did the diamond ring get into the fish?
So, when Brahman came back, he put the diamond ring in a pot because he didn't want it to get stolen again. And so he put it in the pot, and he forgot to tell his wife. And so then the wife, she took the pot, and she had 2 pots, and one broke. And the other pot, just as she was filling water, because the diamond ring was really small, but it was precious. So the diamond ring fell in the well. Any other questions? Please raise your hand if you have any questions. Any more questions?
Rasika, Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
It's an excellent presentation.
Matt.
So nice. The way you approached to me, I was totally surprised. Actually, I wanted to put you in the line schedule, regular schedule. It's supposed to be in September, but you had so much of eager to share your knowledge, and then I gave this
Yeah,
date.
actually, I just joined these classes and I saw that Parikshit last time he was giving the class about stories from Padma Puranas. So I got inspired and I wanted to give a class of my own.
Yes, Krishna Chaitanya was giving. Yes, after that you asked me. So excellent. And then can you share some of your experience, how you learn, how you get all the inspirations to learn all these things?
So Mataji, actually, I listened to all this information from a class, and Shubhalas Prabhu, he's very a good speaker, and I got all this information from him, and I added some of my own life experiences and stories. And basically, I got inspired to do this because I thought most of these stories are stories which people don't know. And if I share them to all the kids, then they will tell their parents or they'll tell other kids, and these stories will get around because I don't want to do some normal stories which everybody knows. So I thought of some, I got some new stories, and I thought that this would be a great way to share them and connect to Mahabaratha.
Thank you so much. Maybe other can go and.
Hare Krishna, Rasika. Oh,
Hey.
okay, Mataji, go ahead. Please. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Rasika. Thank you so much for such a beautiful presentation. You are a born preacher. You can really see the, the natural flow as you're talking. It was very, very nice to see you speak so nicely. Thank you so much for covering all the C's. Very interesting and very nicely detailed presentation. Thank you so much, Rasika. Hare
Hare Krishna, Rasika. This is Padmasaki Devi Dasi. Thank you so much. This is not just for the kids. You have taught so many life lessons even for the elders. This doesn't look like your first time. I'm sure you would have presented many places. Yeah, I know you're very, very enthusiastic. Seriously, very inspiring to all the kids. Thank you. Nice to see you.
Please bless me.
Krishna, Rasika, your class was really good. I liked it.
Thank you.
You are present very well, beta, in 6C. I love your class. I learned and listened too. And my both daughters. I'm really blessed that you are in Parliament Temple, devotee kids. Good job, bacha.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Rasika. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, blessing with you. how nicely you narrating the Leelas. And especially my daughter is 28 years old, but she is also hearing so sincerely. My Prabhu also 56-year-old. It is not for kids, it is for us also. And how nicely, very confidently, like you are born devotee, very confidently you explain the Leelas, like we feel that we enter in that Leela, like 30 years or 25 years, Prabhuji or Matajis are explaining Leela from Sisi Bhagavatam. Thank you. God bless you, Radhe. Shishi Radha Gopinath blessing with you. Hari Hari Gauranga.
Yes. Does Jagajit have a question?
Hari Bol, Rasika. I really liked your presentation. I would say C for composure, with which you were C for communicating, speaks a lot about C for your character, and I see C for Chaitanya's mercy in you, through you, and want to C for congratulate you. Very nice. Very well done. Very well done. And how did you learn all these stories, Rasika?
Mataji, like I said, I actually listened to a class 2 hours long, and I've been preparing since 3 weeks now.
Oh, okay. Wow. So, were you listening? Were you listening were you listening from your parents, or was it from a book?
The speaker Shubhalas Prabhu Mataji,
Okay.
he has like very innovative classes. Like some speakers, like they don't give a lot of stories, so I'm not really interested to hear them. But Shubhalas Prabhu, he's one of my favorite speakers. The other one is Gorgopal Prabhu.
Okay.
And so what I like is Shubhalas Prabhu, he gives like a lot of stories.
Okay.
And I like stories and like lectures, like how they connect to the real thing. Otherwise, it kind of sounds a little boring.
Yeah,
Of
course, we all love stories. Just make so much connection we can make, right? Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rasika. Thanks a lot.
Hare Krishna, Rasika. I think you want to ask Jagdish first because he's raised his hand.
Yeah, Machi.
Yeah, please ask him first.
I have a question.
Yes, Jagdish?
Why did the Brahmin keep the ring in a pot?
I think that was one of the only safe places in his house because, like I said, he was poor. And I think he wanted to save it to buy something, and maybe he wanted to surprise his wife and his children. So I think he wanted to hide it. But coincidentally, it was actually the one which his wife took, and so it dropped in the river and it was really deep, so she couldn't take it out. Any more questions?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I like your presentation, Rasika.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Go ahead, kids. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Rasika. Very nice class. I like how you were talking about the seas and how you were like relating those to your own personal life. So I that was kind of like interesting for me how you were like you know, like relating the incidents in the story that you were talking about to your personal life.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Rasika.
Hare
It
Krishna,
was.
Hare Krishna, Rasika. I love your presentation, but I know why was the Brahmin so poor and why didn't he have any money?
Well, he was in India, and many people in like India, like Brahman doesn't mean that you're like a brahmachari. Brahman means like you're married, and you're kind of like second initiated. And so he was like poor probably because like maybe his parents were poor and he didn't have many money. It just really depends how his family history is. And many people in India are poor, so.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Rasika. I really like your presentation.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Rasika. I love your presentation.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Rasika. That presentation was really good and it really helped me learn some life lessons.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Rasika Mataji, I liked your presentation.
Thank you.
Hare
Are there any
Krishna,
more
Rasika,
questions?
I really liked the presentation and the story.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Rasika, I loved your presentation.
Thank you.
How old are you, Rasika?
Machi, I'm 10 and a half. I'll be turning 11 in November.
And you're connected to the Farmington Temple, is it, in Detroit?
Yeah, Machi.
Wonderful. I did not meet you. I'm so sorry. I should have met you someday.
I'm
You were
also
in
turning
Detroit.
11 in November.
So, Rasika, like you said that you have been getting ready for this for 3 weeks, right? So then,
2 to 3 weeks.
2 weeks. So then when you heard for some classes, did you make the notes and did you try to apply it? Because see, when you read, as you said, right? And are you attending any of our classes for the Govinda or the Madhava?
Well, actually, Machi, I just got to know of it. So like, Anushka actually, she's one of my friends. She told me of some of the classes, and I started joining the Govinda and the Madhava. But I don't really join Madhava yet because I'm not 11, but I'm in the group.
Very good, very good. Thank you so much for joining. And I really loved the thing which there were many points which I loved apart from the stories. And the way you connected the stories was really, really interesting because that is what we are trying our real life lessons. And the part which I loved over there was when you said that your brother, when you have a fight, and then he's the one who says sorry, and you told about yourself that okay, because of some ego, I do not say it. And you know what, like that was such a beautiful statement which you made, because everyone has this ego and we do not tend to accept it. We always feel, oh no, I'm humble and I'm the one who is always okay with it. But the way you said it yourself, that shows your humility and how humble you are. And you know, such a person who is ready for corrections goes a way long in any field whichever you take. To be a good listener and to be ready to correct yourself is what each and every person, not only kids. And I really loved those points. Your stories and the connection was really amazing, because I know it takes a lot of time to hear a story and then to connect it, and again specifically with your C's to connect it. It must be have been a real task for you. But you being a good preacher and a wonderful devotee, I think like you are really blessed by the Lord. So, and we really would like to see you on the calls, and you could be an inspiration for so many of the kids who are getting prepared. So thank you so much for coming, and I really loved your class. I'm going to again listen to it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Rasika. Such a beautiful presentation. The confidence in you, the moments of your eyes when you're talking, the way, the style in your talk, it's so confident. The content is so nice, so nice. I really love, and the way you are really a preacher. You should try to give regularly classes like this. You are going to be a big preacher in your life, and it's so beautiful. And the way the statement you have did for the when you're sharing about the four mentality of the people, you were sharing about the Sunday feast program. The people come and eat over there, but they don't donate. The way you are telling was so nice. Hope people see and try to donate, right? They come and eat on Sunday feast. If they go to the restaurant, they would have spent money for that, right? But still they don't donate for us. But the way you told, right, maybe many people will move up and then they will try to donate. Such a nice presentation. Each and every point where you are comparing the crow and all those swan. Such a nice. Really, I want to hear it 10 times to understand each and every concept that you have told, because it's way of my understanding. My understanding level is very less. Even though I'm bigger than you, I'm an elder adult, but my understanding is so low. Your class is so beautiful. I really loved your class. May Krishna always bless you and you inspire many people like me. Hari Bol.
Thank you, Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Rasika, I really liked your class, but I have one question. So, why did Arjuna give a diamond to the Brahmana after he lost, after the robber took the coins from him, or when the Brahmana let the robber take the coins from him?
Well, Arjuna actually, he was pretty rich, so that's why he gave the diamond. But also part of the reason was Arjuna had like, he was like very like pitiful. I mean, he was like really rich, and he understood that the Brahmin was probably holding it, and the robber is probably like really powerful. So that's why he gave the Brahmin a second chance. But then the third time Krishna took over. So does that answer your question, Raj?
Yes. Thank you, Rasika.
Thank you for the wonderful presentation, Rasika. It was very well put together, very well thought, very well, narrated, and the way you gave the presentation with so much confidence and with so much the flow in your talk. It was very, very good, very inspiring to all the kids. Thank you so much. Very good.
Rasika, can you share your presentation PPT with us in the group?
Yeah, Mataji.
To Anjana Gopika Mataji, if you don't have, if you are not in the groups or anything, you can please send it to Anjana Mataji.
I'll say it in the.
Okay, Mataji. Should I share the link?
Yeah. No, I have already, Rasika. I will share in the group. Okay.
Okay, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, very interesting and very nice presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Rasika. I really liked your presentation. Good job.
Thank you, Radhi. Are there any more questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Rasika. I like your presentation, and there was like from the seatings, the sixth one you told me that you told that was like the nice one.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Rasika. I really like your presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rasika, for coming and giving your presentation. We maybe you can give later on also. I'll ask with you after our regular kids will finish. Your presentation are so nice and it is very helpful to other older kids also and for us also. Thank you so much, Rasika. We have a next part. Our kids, the Damodar kids and Govinda Madhav kids will share their rhymes, sloka, what they learned last week. If you want to.
Hare Krishna, Rasika. Rasika, it was a nice story, and you told that like you are listening stories from Swami. Can you please spell for us?
Yeah, Mataji. I'll just send the YouTube link.
Okay, thank you.
Should we end now, Mataji?
Rasika, yeah, we have a next presentation. Now the other kids, Madhava and Govinda kids will do. If you want to stay, you can stay. It's up to you. Yeah. Mataji, shall we do break the room now?
Yes, Mataji, can Damodar kids raise their hands, please? Parents, can you use the raise hand and then we can put you in a different room?
Yes, Damodar kids who is joining regular Damodar class, please raise your hand. We can go and practice your sloka and rhymes. I think Rishikesh is there, Balram, Subhadra, Radhika, Rasika, Manmahi, who can, Janvi is there, Mataji. Shreya Srihari is there. Yes. Vaishali Mataji. Yes, Mataji, that they are the only today here. Brinda is anyway. Brinda is there. You can just manage and come back, Mataji. Yeah,
Mataji, 7 kids only, right? So far only I saw Balram and Shubhadra and Jahnavi, Rishikesh, Manmai Krishna,
Radhika, Rasika.
Radhika and Rasika. Yeah.
Radhu, Rasika, Mataji.
Yeah, Radhika and Rasika, yes. And then Shama Gauri and Vaishali Patel, it is there. What?
Our Brinda Gopika
Mataji. Mataji, do you see Gauri? She's also raising her hand.
Gauri, okay.
Who raised just now hand?
Yes, Gauri, I put Mataji.
Yeah, please, kids.
Yeah, if anybody is there, I will send Mataji. Now I am going to open the room. So, Mataji, Subhadra's mom, you can come back, Mataji, once you are done. Okay, there is Govinda group in the main room today. This time, you will not have a problem this time, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Better. Okay.
So now Govinda group is here in the main room. So I'd like to request all the kids to present what they learned. And small, one more request, can kids come on their video when they are presenting? It will be so lively when we see you, and other kids can be inspired by seeing you. It's a small request. Can you all come on the video when you are presenting? What did you learn from the Govinda class? Who wants to go first?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Ashutosh, can I say?
Yes, Ashutosh, please on your video.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam jaja ante kalevaram tam tamaivaiti konteya sadatad bhava bhavita. The second verse, I have like one more line to do to memorize it. And this week I learned from Bharata Maharaj that we should not get attached to anything too much, and we should always keep our minds on Krishna.
Thank you, Ashutosh. Thank you so much. Who wants to go next?
I can.
Hare Krishna. Who wants to go next?
Me, who?
No, okay. I'm spotting you. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. Never mind that.
Tejate.
What?
Tejate ante kalevaram, right? What?
Yeah, yante kalevaram. Yam tam tam yavaiti kanteya.
Sadatat.
Sadatat bhava bhavitaha.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Who wants to go next? We also had another Bhagavad Gita class. If you all joined that, we did one craft. We learned Vasan Shijinani. If anybody wants to recite that verse, please go ahead and recite even for me that one. Hare Krishna, kids. Is there anybody who'd like to perform? I mean, like present that verse?
Karthik.
Yes, Karthik, can you come on video? Yes, Karthik. Thank you, Karthik.
Namaste Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakate Param Alaksham Sarvabhutanam Antarbahi Avastitam Maya Jamani Kachanam Adya Doksha Savyam Nalaksham Hridayadasha Nato Nadrayata Tata Paramahamsanam Munina Mamalashanam Bhakti Yoga Vinanadam Tatam Pashyama Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Nama Pankajanaಭaya Nama Pankajamaline Nama Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraya Yam Yam Vapi Smaram Bhavam Tajayanti Kalavaram Tam Tam Evata Kaunteya Sada Bhava Bhavitaha. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Karthik. That was so nice. Now Balram wants to go, I guess. Balram, go ahead.
यं यवापि स्मरं भावं जलं अन्ते कलेवरं तं तमेवाधि कौन्तेय सदा तद्भावभावितः कृष्णे स्वदामुपगते धर्मनानादिभिक्षः कलो नष्ट दुषाम् ईशा पुराणार्कोदनोदिता.
He already said the Kunti prayers, Mataji, in that Damodar class.
Okay, Balram, thank you so much. Okay. Vrinda wants to say next, right? Vrinda? Yum yum vapi, okay? Yum yum.
Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tejade andakalevaram tam tam me vaidiyamneya saradharava vabhavitaha.
Vasanj.
I want to join from
No, that's fine.
Vasanjijina Iraribhava Bhavani Hinani Narobarani Tada Sharirani Vihaya Jirani Andya Samyani Namani Dehi.
Thank you, Vrinda. What is the meaning you understand from the class? Can you tell me? What did you understand? What did Mataji explain you in the class? What she was showing pictures. She showed some pictures to you in the class. What did you understand? Can you tell me one word that you understand from the class?
She showed me that Krishna was laying down and then Arjuna came and then.
No, not that story. I'm saying from the Bhagavad Gita class from Vasanshi Jinani.
From Vasanji Jinani?
Yeah.
Or Vasanji, from Vasanji, Mataji said me that when you change the dress and you feel so sad for one reason.
Yeah. Do you feel sad when you change the dress?
No, you don't feel sad, right, everyone? When you change a dress for one reason, if you feel sad, it's.
Yeah, so like that, we should not feel sad about
like that
dying, right? We should not feel sad. Okay. Thank you, Vrinda. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Why shan't she?
You said all.
Why shan't you?
Who wants to go next?
Mataji, can Samskriti go?
Yes, Samskruti, can you come on video?
Mataji, my video.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I
fine.
think it's working now.
Oh, okay. If it is not working, that's okay. No worries. Yeah, come on, say the sloka.
Yam yam vapi smaram pavam tajite ante kalevaram tam tam evaiti konteya sattad bhava bhavitaha. Konteya vacha namasye purusham tvadyam ishwaram prakrite param alaksham sarvabhutanam antarbahiravachitam maya janvikachannam ajnadokshadamavyayam nalakshase mudadrisha nato daro yata tata paramahamsanam muninam amalatmanam bhakti yoga vedanartam katam pashyemahi shriyaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Samskruti. That was very nice. Is there anybody who would like to say the verses that they learned this week? Yes, who is that?
Ashutosh, I forgot to say the Kunti prayers.
Okay, come on, say, please.
Okay. Namaste Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakate Param Alaksam Sarva Bhutanam Antirbahiravastitam Maya Javani Kachanam Agnatoksham Avyayam Nalak Maya Javani Kachanam Agnatoksham Avyayam Nalaksase Mudadisa Nato Natyadharo Yata Tata Paramahamsanam Muni Mamalatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidhanartam Katam Pashyemahe Striya Krishna Devaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Yatashkesha Kalena Devaki Kamsena Lilacharam Srijarpita Vimochitaham Chasma Majavibo Dvaeva Natena Muhur Vipadganat
What's next?
Can Vrinda go?
Thank you, Ashutosh.
Can Vrinda go?
Yes, Vrinda, go ahead.
Who can spot me? Okay.
That's not that's wrong one. Okay, come on, say. Janmaishwarya.
Janmaishwarya Shudashi Yedamana Madabuman Bahatya Abhida Tumbai Twamakinchana Go Sharaha Namo Akinchana Gitaya Rirudayunavittaya Atmara Maya Santaya Kalvalabhataye Namaha Mande Pampalamisanam Anabibiraram Vimam Samam Jarandam Sarvatram Bhutanam Yanmita Kalihi Navedakashit Bhagavam Sugirshida Saveramanasya Prinam Vidambanam Yasya Kashit Tahitos Megaje Veshastiyasya Vishamamatirmanam.
Thank you, Vrinda.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Anshu. Can I sing a bhajan?
Sure, Anshu. Go ahead.
She's on video.
Vrindavana Ramyasthana Divya Chintamani Dhama Ratana Mandira Manohara Vrindavana Ramyasthana Divya Chintamani Dhama Ratana Mandira Manohara Abrata Kalindini Re Raja Hamsa Keli Kare Tahe Shobe Kanaka Kamana Taramate Hemapita Ashtadale Beshtita Ashtadale Pradhana Naika. Thank you, Mataji.
Beautiful, beautiful. So nice. Thank you. Anshu, thank you so much. Is there anybody who would like to say anything, the verse that they learned, or Vrindavana Ramyasthana from the...
I want to say Vrindavana.
No, you don't know the song. You don't know. Once you learn fully, you can present it, Vrinda.
I want to sing something else.
Thank you, Vrinda, please. Is there anybody before I end the call? Okay, I guess everybody has presented. Thank you so much, kids. I'll just close the room so that if there is anybody remaining over there, they can come back to the main room. I guess everybody is done over there also. Okay. Thank you, kids. I would like to offer my obeisances to all of you. Thank you so much for joining in. Vancha kalpatarobhyasya kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti vaishnav vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Rasika ki jai. Damodar Govinda Madhava. Damodar Govinda Madhava kids ki jai. Hari bol.
But Janvi, she's a nice.
Thank you, Mataji.